What's up, internet? It's your boy xCephasx. Let's get into today's video. Today I want to talk about the absolute travesty and demise that is Black culture. The movie we're talking about today is One of Them Days with Keke Palmer and none other than issa. So the movie is a comedy, a regular comedy sort of source, but as always, they're always portraying Black culture in a way that is, in my view, derogatory. I don't care if you're making a comedy or whatever it is that you're making. I need my Black brothers and sisters to be in uplifting roles, okay? Produced by Issa, which is the most notable producer on here, which is also Black. So then my question is, why would we make this movie about these young girls in the ghetto in LA trying to come up with the most hood ratchet ways possible to pay their rent on time? Now, I understand that in the end, Keke Palmer's character did get that job, that big corporate job with the, the quote-unquote white man. But for me, it's the idea that why couldn't they be two suburban girls in the suburbs trying to do the same sort of thing? Maybe they had a different kind of problem they had to solve. Why did they got to be coming from the ghetto? Why does the movie have to have a twerking fight scene of all? It's just these same ideas and tropes that are perpetuated through culture that I think is what needs to stop, because it's influencing girls in a negative way. Now, a movie that's comparable and has the same sort of plot as this film is this other one called Night Always Comes, which got about a 5.8 on IMDb and 55% on Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, y'all niggas on Rotten Tomatoes really thought that movie stunk. But yet, the viewers gave One of Them Days 94%. 94%. 94%. Listen guys, what I'm going to say is this. The Night Always Comes movie is the same concept, it's the same trope, except this is a girl now who's, I guess, the white trash girl who used to be a sex worker, and her mom is off the rails, and her brother has disabilities, and she's trying to bring everything together so she can save the family home. Even that idea, that concept is an idea, is entering the subconscious mind, because it's telling the young girls of today, oh, you can be troubled, you can be a sex worker, you can do this, you can have a troubled past, but you can still overcome it. Now, looking at the two movies, you can turn around and say, okay, maybe they're trying to at least uplift young girls to tell them that no matter what obstacles are in the way, they can overcome them, they can surmount them. Yes, maybe that is the plot, but you kind of have to look on the underlying movie. Yeah, of course, that's the surface level aspect of the movie. You say, okay, this girl has a problem, she comes from a troubled past, but she overcame her situation. Okay, fine, good. Let's leave that. But if you really want to start to dissect the films further down, we have to start looking at this idea of the 1960s liberation movement of what is feminism, and how now this idea of, oh, the regular girl can go into dangerous situations and somehow get out of these situations unscathed. Mind you, the girl Lynette in Night Always Comes did have glass smashed in her back, so that was pretty much the highest point in which the trouble, the turmoil peaked. The idea that you think that these little 110-pound girls are going to go into these crazy situations late in the middle of the night to try to save their family, it's a little bit hyperbolic. But I can understand how some of you could believe it. I get it. To be a film about saving your family, overcoming challenges, I'm all with it. But to propagate the idea that 110-pound young women can go into dangerous situations and come out unscathed, that is humorous. It's the idea that I think, just as a culture, I think Black culture, we have to start respecting our value more than we're currently respecting it, or else we're always going to be churning out these low budget, low level, low consciousness types movies, and that's not what we're looking for. Because as a society and as a culture, we need to uplift ourselves to be in this point now, in a place now where we can be better, we can perform better for ourselves. I would have loved that this film, they were the Keke Palmer and issa were just girls going to like maybe a private school, maybe a high class public school in a good neighborhood. They had good family, had a good family structure. Maybe they weren't living with their parents, but maybe they could have just had a nice apartment in a nice place. People with money can still have issues where in 24 hours a problem has to be solved. That can still be the plot of the movie. I would have just enjoyed it if they were in some sort of higher standing for themselves. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but that's how I feel. All right. So I appreciate you guys watching this video, and if there's any kind of commentary that you guys have, just leave it down in the comments, and I'll catch you guys in the next